The second impeachment of Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, occurred on January 13, 2021, 1 week before his term expired. It was the fourth impeachment of a United States president, and the second for Trump after his first impeachment in December 2019. 10 Republican representatives voted for the second impeachment, the most pro-impeachment votes ever from a president's party. This was also the first presidential impeachment in which all majority caucus members voted unanimously for impeachment. The House of Representatives of the 117th U.S. Congress adopted one article of impeachment against Trump of incitement of insurrection, alleging that Trump incited the January 6 storming of the U.S. Capitol. These events were preceded by numerous unsuccessful attempts by Trump to overturn the 2020 presidential election, as well as his pushing of voter fraud conspiracy theories on his social media channels before, during, and after the election. A single article of impeachment charging Trump with incitement of insurrection against the U.S. government and lawless action at the Capitol was introduced to the House of Representatives on January 11, 2021. The article was introduced with more than 200 co-sponsors. The same day, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave Vice President Mike Pence an ultimatum to invoke Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to assume the role of acting president within 24 hours, or the House would proceed with impeachment proceedings. Pence stated that he would not do so in a letter to Pelosi the following day, arguing that to do so would not be in the best interest of our nation or consistent with our Constitution. Nevertheless, a House majority, including one Republican, passed a resolution urging Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. The House impeachment managers formally triggered the start of the impeachment trial on January 25. By delivering to the Senate the charge against Trump, the 9 managers walked into the Senate chamber led by the lead impeachment manager, Rep. Jamie Raskin, who read the article of impeachment. The trial in the Senate was scheduled to start on February 9. Chief Justice John Roberts chose not to preside as he had done for Trump's first impeachment trial. The president pro tempore of the Senate, Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy, presided instead. At the trial, the first of its kind for a departed U.S. president, 67 votes or a two-thirds majority was needed to convict Trump. Ultimately, 57 senators voted guilty, and 43 senators voted not guilty, resulting in Trump being acquitted of the charge on February 13, 2021. In early January 2021, President Trump made numerous unsuccessful attempts to overturn the 2020 United States presidential election. Trump called on his supporters to come to Washington, D.C. on January 6, on the day that Congress was counting the electoral votes, to the March to Save America rally on the National Mall. At the rally, Trump as well as other speakers repeated the false claims that the election was stolen, used the word fight, made an analogy to boxing, and suggested that his supporters had the power to prevent President-elect Joe Biden from taking office. When the United States Congress convened to certify the electoral votes of the presidential election, supporters of Trump crossed the mall and stormed the United States Capitol in an attempt to prevent the tabulation of votes and protest against Biden's win. Trump supporters unlawfully entered the Capitol and gathered on both its eastern and western sides, including on the inaugural platform constructed for Biden's inauguration. 5 people, including a Capitol police officer, died as a result of the riots, while several improvised explosive devices were found on and near the Capitol grounds. Another Capitol police officer on duty during the riots died by suicide days later. During the riots, Trump was initially pleased by the attack on the Capitol and took no action. In a speech hours into the event, Trump told the rioters, "We love you. You're very special," restated his false claims of electoral fraud, and then asked them to go home. Hours later, Congress reconvened and ultimately certified the electoral votes in the early morning hours of January 7. Trump then released a statement asserting that there would be an orderly transition of power on Inauguration Day, even while continuing to falsely claim that the election was stolen from him and also stating that he would not attend Biden's inauguration. 4 scenarios for the removal of Trump from office had been posited by members of Congress. Members of Trump's cabinet, political commentators, or legal scholars. Resignation. The invocation of the 14th Amendment, invocation of the 25th Amendment, or impeachment and conviction. The President of the United States can resign from office, in which case the Vice President would automatically become President, instead of merely assuming the powers and duties of the Pres.